So, very good afternoon to all the members in the audience today at the 9th edition of the ET Auto EV Conclave. Thank you for the warm welcome. As a nation, India, with its vast population and rapidly growing economy, faces the dual challenge of driving development while mitigating its environmental footprint. Climate change is no longer a distant threat. It is even more relevant for India as we have several of most polluted cities in the world. Hence, reducing emissions is not an option but a national imperative. To that end, under the leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister, the government has shared a vision for decarbonization of the nation with a target to achieve net zero by 2070. As India progresses its journey of decarbonization, the road sector, which accounts for 12% of nation's CO2 emissions, will play a key role in achieving country's emission reduction targets. Moreover, the auto industry itself would need to accelerate efforts and achieve net zero significantly earlier than 2070, otherwise we will not be able to achieve the national target. Reducing emissions from the auto industry cannot be achieved through individual efforts alone. It will require concerted effort across the ecosystem, with synergies across OEMs, suppliers, ecosystem players, policymakers, and charging infra players, driving both the demand and supply of clean mobility for customers. Reduction of emissions in the industry would require an accelerated transition towards zero-emission vehicles like EVs, as only EVs provide a viable and effective solution for mitigating the tailpipe emissions. Moreover, as India ramps up to its renewable energy capacity, it will offer a significant compounding benefit as EVs can seamlessly integrate into the PNO grid. Over the past few years, the automotive industry had seen a remarkable progress as far as electrification is concerned. The overall EV penetration has risen steadily in India due to collective efforts of the industry, government, and the customers. Overall, India has seen an EV penetration across segments, which has risen from just 0.69% in 2019 to 6% in 2024, with over 50 lakh EVs already on the roads across PVs, CDs, two-wheelers, and three-wheelers. Different segments, of course, are at different phases in terms of electrification journey, with varying EV penetration. And let me talk about them. In passenger vehicles, if you see, which generally have longer product development cycles, the industry has achieved 2% penetration and approximately 1 lakh unit is now being sold annually as compared to few thousands 5 years back. There has been a sharp increase in EV adoption by customers every year, with more and more EV products available in the market at accessible prices and growing awareness of customers. EV penetration is likely to continue to grow. Coming to commercial vehicles, the push towards electric commercial vehicles is gaining momentum across the country, especially in buses and the last mile distribution, that is small commercial vehicles. Presently, the share of electric commercial vehicles is only 1% of the total CVs. However, it is expected to rise progressively given the incentives provided by the central government in form of PLI and PL e-drive. Additionally, to support EV penetration in the bus segment, several state governments have been encouraging transition to electric buses in urban areas. In two-wheeler segment, electric powertrain has seen extremely good acceptability among consumers in FY25. Almost 6% of two-wheelers sold in the market are EVs, implying about 10 lakh electric two-wheelers sold across the country. This adoption is expected to continue to grow on the back of government support, growing consumer interest in wider range of product offerings. Three-wheelers, which includes B-rickshaws as well as e-carts, the electric contribution of three-wheelers sold already has touched 57% of the overall sales, with more than 6 lakh three-wheelers being sold annually. In fact, the growth of electric three-wheelers has been one of the key drivers of growth for the three-wheeler industry, where we are seeing rapid electrification of the last mile mobility across urban and semi-urban areas. The rapid growth of EVs has been possible due to holistic efforts across all stakeholders to foster a very strong EV ecosystem. Government support has been critical in driving demand and greater awareness through initiatives such as SPAM, EMPS, taxation support, and state level policies. Furthermore, recently the institutionalization of PM New Drive scheme will further accelerate EV penetration among the identified segments. Additionally, PLI scheme for automobiles, auto components, and advanced chemistry cell ACC as we call it, with a combined outlay of nearly 43,000 crores, are fostering investment in both vehicle production and supply chain, which will ensure localization and therefore sustainable growth of EVs in the country. At the same time, OEMs have also embraced the EV transition with significant investments in R&D and manufacturing to develop EV products for the Indian market. With increasing EV options provided in the market, along with tailored marketing and sales effort, customer awareness and confidence in EVs has been increasing substantially. And now most customers are aware about EVs and have confidence in the EV technology. To enable the development of EVs, accessible pricing, a robust EV supply chain has been established for EVs in India. The high levels of localization has allowed for greater agility and enhanced cost effectiveness. And lastly, the charging infra has been strengthening across the country with over 60,000 public chargers as compared to 200, 300 chargers that we used to see 5 years back. And this has happened because of investment by charge point operators, now also oil marketing companies and others to grow the public charging infrastructure space. I think going forward in line with the global benchmark and the direction we need to progress as a country, India has set an ambitious target for EV sales penetration by 2030, which will require substantial EV penetration and actions across all the four segments, PV, CV, two-wheelers and three-wheelers. So as we go into the next phase of electrification, it will require reinforced effort to build the whole ecosystem further. Acceleration of EVs will require a robust, consistent policy framework that signals India's commitment to electrification with alignment across central and state government. So government support will be required across segments until EVs are able to reach self-sustaining volume and penetration, individually each of the segments. OEMs will need to ensure further investments in development of more EVs to cater to the diverse customer needs. At the same time, efforts will be required in further reinforcing EVs and to develop capabilities while ensuring that cost structures for EV reduces so that acquisition price of EVs are on par with the ICE products across segments. Supply chain localization and development will need to be accelerated to unlock the full potential of electric mobility. In specific, given the importance of batteries in EV manufacturing, further localization of battery manufacturing will be key for ensuring a self-sufficient supply ecosystem. Charging infrastructure will need to be strengthened across few key areas. First be a robust highway charging infrastructure, which is smartly planned at hotspots, number in thousands, not just in thousands, actually lakhs, which will be required to provide the comfort to customers for intercity traffic. Home charging, which is still the majority of charging done by the customers, in cars it is nearly 90 to 95%, should be driven through individual chargers or at least community level chargers. Additionally, the growing charging infrastructure will need to be reliable with proper upkeep to give greater confidence to the customers and ensure that they are not left stranded on the road. Lastly, with the new EV landscape and the ever-evolving technologies, there is a need to build on existing technical and human resource capabilities. Equipping the workforce with emerging EV-related skills and bridging any skill gaps will be essential to catalyze technological advancements in the EV industry. And in order to achieve 30% EV market share by 2030, India needs to heavily invest in upskilling and reskilling of its current and future workforce, requiring approximately 125 million training hours. In closing, as I reflect on our journey so far, the evolution of EVs in India has been more than just a technological shift. It is a collective vision for a sustainable future. India's pursuit of sustainable mobility is just not a national mission, but a testament to our role as a global leader. We have made a good start through combined effort from all the OEMs, policymakers, supply chain, and charging infrastructure in all the categories as I spoke about. Going forward, our aim is that a unified approach where policy, innovation, public participation converge will help integrate EVC industry into our national fabric. This, in fact, sums up our effort as SIAM under a focused campaign called Vidyutikaran as a part of our overall initiative on sustainable mobility and decarbonization. I'm confident that our discussions today will not only celebrate our achievements, but also identify the challenges that lie ahead of us. Together, let us embrace the spirit of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the world as one family, on trade towards an electric, eco-friendly and economically vibrant future for all of us. Thank you and Jai Hind.